Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Matters in the Health Zone. I am Professor M. How are you all doing today? It has been a minute, but I have a good excuse. I promise I do have a good excuse. I am working now, and plus I'm moving. I am finally moving. Oh my Lord, y'all been hearing me preach about this for how long? I'm finally moving. I'm excited. Very excited. A lot of things that you guys did not know. Because I kept a lot of things under the radar. I really did. But some of the reasons why I wasn't doing a lot of recording because of stress. I do live in a nice apartment. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. But so much, when they talk about energy, y'all need to listen. Seriously. There has been so much that has gone on in my home until it was to the place I really didn't want to do anything. I'm just being honest with you all. And what really, really did it was my daughter had came in and she said, "Mommy, can I stay with you all for a little? Can I stay with you for a little while I save money and get me another place?" I said, "Yeah." And so when she came in, me and her had a long talk. And she said, "Mommy," she said, "I'm getting headaches." And this is not her. She don't normally get headaches. She said, "There's something here." So she came with this idea. She said, "How about you and I sharing an apartment?" Well, this is my baby girl. And her and I, oh my God, her and I, we very close, but we're not very close, if that makes any sense. And her sister looked at her and said, "Are you sure?" She said, "Yeah." So when her and I went to see the apartment, she said, "I felt like this would give us time to get close." And I really felt good. So the apartment that we got is very beautiful. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's very beautiful. It has a balcony. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. There are not that many residents. We have a clubhouse, um, pool, business center. The children have the nice playground. We have a track to where we can walk. Excuse me. Um, our own car wash. Oh my God. Oh Lord. We um we went into the apartment, 2 bedrooms. Each one of us have our own bathroom, dishwasher, brand new stove, and microwave. Check this out. Two large washers and dryers, carpet. I'm like, oh my God. And it's affordable. And so when her and I talked, she said, "Mommy," she said, "I know you love where you at." And which I do, I won't lie, because everything is like convenient. But where we're moving to, you just go up the street. Everything is convenient. And people don't understand this. And I want to share this with you. Small towns are okay. There's nothing wrong with small towns. But small towns sometimes can be a death trap when you're trying to succeed. and hear me out real good with this. In my city, people are not really being blessed. They are, but they're not, if it makes any sense. If they really want to feel good, they have to go into Orlando somewhere or go into another city right beside us. And in our city, everybody wants everything to stay the way it is. Um, we could have had a baseball field, a national baseball field, but our city council at the time turned it down. You go about 30 minutes away into another city, they have the baseball field. Um, they have it. A lot of places that should be here in the city, they're not here. Um, some of the big, some of the big stores have left. Why? Because there's not nothing coming through. And it's mostly for the elderly people. So I'm not elderly. I mean, I'm in my early 60s and I don't consider myself elderly. I'm still young, vibrant, and still want to go places. And there's nothing. Now, at the next place that I'm moving to, which is maybe about 45 minutes, the place is going up. Vibrant people, I mean everything. And it's like, and so what I did a background check on the city. And what I mostly go with the lotteries, the lottery wins, because our city has never made, only one guy won $1 million. But that's it. That's totally it. Our city has never made anything. Maybe $100,000 here, but to really, really make this, what I'm trying to say. But you go into another city that is like 45 or maybe an hour away, man, they popping. They booming. They booming with millionaires and billionaires and everything. So you have to get somewhere where you're flourishing, where you are being blessed. And that's it. So I'm very blessed to be moving today. We're getting stuff taken care of. Next week is the big moving day. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I have to get done. So my children are coming in. Some of them are coming in today to help me get packed up. Well, I just like everything packed up. I'm cleaning out my closet. And I just want to throw a little thing at you guys. This is crazy, but I'm gonna share with you. I have a lot of shoes and I have a lot of clothes. So I was coming up with some ideas. So I was taking boxes. What I done was, those bags that you can buy at Aldi's, at Sam's, BJ's, those big, big bags. I've used those bags to pack my things in and take them to the apartment. And you might say, that's crazy. No, it's not. It's called being recyclable. Because once you use those boxes, you have to get rid of those boxes. You cannot have, unless, if you live in a small, you cannot use those boxes unless you're going to make furniture out of them. Why do that when you have those bags around the house? Shoe bags. I have used those bags for my shoe bags because my shoes are still in boxes. And I have used those, put the shoes, put the shoes in the bags, in my boxes. I mean, my shoe boxes in those bags. There are ways that you can do it to cut down on expenses, because guess what? Stuff is getting outrageous. I mean, let's just keep it real. Now, there's a lot of things that has been happening all over the world. Um, Freedom of speech has been attacked. People are getting killed unnecessarily. Our government is going haywire. So much. People are scared. People are trying to better themselves. And it's like the more that they try to better themselves, they're not getting nowhere. And it causes a ripple effect, if that makes any sense. It causes a ripple effect. Me, I want to kind of elaborate on it. And I just want to share some things if you guys don't mind. One, I know that you all been reading the newspaper about the the fake apostle and his mansions. Well, that fake apostle, as the media put out there, is a good friend of mine. His name is Apostle David E. Taylor. Apostle Taylor is a very humble man. And I kind of feel like there's a lot of racial stuff that's involved with this. I really do. Even down to Vicky Oli, or whatever this woman's name is. It's a lot of racial stuff involved with this, and I'm gonna break it down to you. Apostle Taylor is a different kind of a preacher. He has taught us how to love our enemies. He has taught us how to do things. It's not a cult. They build up a lot of places, and you might say, well, they're saying that they got videos where he said, text messages where he said things. Okay, but how many times do we say things that is out of order? Look at Trump. How many times does he say things is out of order? When people are in leadership positions, they say things that's totally unnecessary to say. I can speak from experiences. I was a part of a ministry, and I was a part of the Morris Cerullo ministry. I love that ministry. And I was sharing with a friend of mine, how excited I was because they had made me something. And this lady, she act like she really wanted to fight me. I'm seriously. This lady act like she really wanted to fight me until my mother said, "Let's go. Let's get out of here." And she was trying to convince me, oh, they tell a lot of people that and everything. I mean, and it was like, Okay, but for them to choose me, that really made me feel good. Then there was another time that I was in a church and they asked me, the pastor had to go preach somewhere else. And they asked me to take over the service while she go preach. And make sure you get that offering. You make sure you pull that money out of people because they have that money. Well, I'm a person like this. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And what happened for the few people that was there, we raised maybe about $50 or $100. She came back to church and she went off all over me. And the few people that was there, they looked at me and they said, "You did nothing wrong. We're out of here." So preachers as well as business people, they say things in their anger. But you take people, they get all hurt into their feelings. They get all hurt into their feelings, and one thing leads to another. Now, what really got me was people claimed that they were working under conditions, bad conditions. I don't know. And it only came from a few people. It didn't come from a lot of people. 8 people. And TBN got in on it. And TBN to me is a false company anyway. Trinity Broadcasting Network, they false, they fake. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. If you don't agree with what they do, they do stupid stuff. I remember I wanted to work when they was in Orlando, and I wanted to work with the Jerusalem, Israel, USA, whatever that thing was. And I wanted to work there. And I remember, I will never ever forget this. I called and the lady told me, "Do you think that we just gonna allow any and everybody here?" And it really hurt me. Next thing I know, they shut down. Now, a lot of these preachers, and I have to say it, it's called church mafia. If you outbeat another one, trust me, another one gonna come along and try to tackle you. And I believe with this whole situation with Apostle Taylor, now don't get me wrong, Apostle can come out kind of rough. He can. But at the same time, the guy, some of the allegations that was said, I don't believe it. Even with Vicky Oli, whatever this lady's name is. Vicky, and I'm going to say this, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Vicky was nobody. She won a few Grammy Awards back in her early days. But she wasn't doing anything. And Apostle invited her. But here's the thin line. And this is where a lot of preachers get messed up. There's a thin line between leadership and being friendly. Leaders are not supposed to be friend people. We're not. Because this is where people start taking advantage. This is where people start cultivating lies and everything. And when that whole mess came out, Vicky was the one that exposed it. I felt like this, and this is just me personally. Why would you want to do that? Because you and, as you say, Apostle was going together. Why would you want to do that? Why do you feel the urge to come out and expose something like that? I'm going to tell you the reason why. It's because she knew that she would get the followers. See, there's more to this story that really meets the eye. And you might say, well, how are you guys the friends? And I don't mind telling you. When my mother was very ill, him and I used to talk, and he never made a pass at me. Never. And I am a beautiful woman. I'm a whole lot beautiful than Vicky Oley. And a whole lot beautiful than half these other women that they claim that he went with. He's never made a pass at me. Never. When we would talk online, he would talk to me just like a leader. And what happened was when my mother had got very ill and I was crying, and I never forget, it was on a Sunday morning, and I was crying, and I said, Mommy's dying. He said, how far are you from the hospital? And I told him, I said, I'm getting dressed now. I'm on my way up there. He said, when you get there, hit me up. When I got there and I called him, he told me, he said, you're going to get a call within 2 minutes. Sure enough, within 2 minutes, I got that call. And we began to pray. Don't you not know, when the doctors came in the first time, the doctors took me outside and he said, I give her 2 weeks to live. Let her go naturally. Don't fight it. Well, I'm here to tell you, with prayer and God using me, God let my mother live for 9 months, almost to a year. She wasn't far. 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 more months. But what happened? She gave up. She did. She gave up. And I remember her telling me, because they had her on all this medication, and I took her off all that medication, because that medication was making her sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. And I remember that hospice came in the house. Oh, well, you have to look at reality. Excuse me. I see reality, but I'm also dependent on God. When she died, hospice told me, my mother's own doctor told me, they say if it was not for you, she would not have made it as long as she did. And we honor you for that. I will never forget him. So I can only speak what I know. I can only speak what I have seen of. I cannot speak for others. But then I had another friend of mine that moved from Kenya. And she even said, they treated me good. She said, they put me in an apartment. She said, I love working for the ministry. She said, they treated me good. So, how is that? How is that? They only treat one bunch good and another bunch not good. Come on, come on. You go on a job, it's a job. Well, we heard that people said they made them give food stamps. Okay. It's like this. Profits are non-profits. Those ministries are nonprofits. What he did was far more better than what Kenny Copeland and the rest of them did. At least they taught them how to survive. Because at times the ministry, when they get those donations go up and those donations go down. Those donations go up and those donations go down. So they told them to get on food stamps. That's what a lot of them do. What was wrong with that? Oh, well, he's spending money living luxury. Okay? If you really study the nonprofits, you are allowed to take 10% out. 10% goes to the immediate staff. So, if you got $1 million and you take 10%, that's like $100,000. Let's do the math. Well, we don't like the way he talked to his people, but his people knew him. It was only the ones that had the sensitive ways about them are the ones that cried wolf. Now, me personally, this is just me personally, if I felt that I was being mistreated, I would have left. I would say, you know what? This is not for me. My leader in Africa, many people have left the ministry, and they all have said, the Lord told us to leave. They know they go out here and plaster the man's name. Only a few. And see, this is where the Bible comes in at. You're not supposed to do that. If I could see if they were beating on you, now if they were beating on you, that's something different. That's something different. But I've had women, and I'm just being honest with you all. I've had women to get in contact with me and tell me, girl, how can you connect me with David E. Taylor? I want to ride that. You want to ride what? Girl, he's fine. Are you serious? And I broke ties with them. Look at the situation with the young man that killed the United Health guy. Look at that. Oh my God. Then I be on X and I be laughing at them. I ain't gonna lie to you. I be laughing at them. I be laughing at them on Trend. I said, are you guys serious? This guy committed a crime. But the crime exposed United Health. There are people sending him money. I'm telling you, I've seen people online. Ooh, he's fine. Let that man go. Let him go. He didn't do nothing wrong. It's like, are you people crazy? This man killed an innocent person. This man killed somebody. What is wrong with y'all? Look at Charlie Kirk. I never was a fan of Charlie Kirk, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I did not like his mannerism. I felt as if he led a lot of these young people into areas that they shouldn't have been. I remember when I was in The Way, there was an organization in school called The Way. And The Way, I loved it. Oh my Lord, we would go around the flags in the morning times. It was really good. Now it had nothing about discrimination. It didn't talk about slavery. It didn't talk about none of that stuff. Um, Charlie Kirk made a comment about President Obama's wife, which was out of order. He made a comment about the Supreme Justice, the black lady that's in there. It was out of order. He made a comment about if he got on a plane and it was a black pilot, he said he hoped it's a black pilot. That was out of order. It was out of order for him to say anything about slavery. A lot of stuff that he said was out of order. Now I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. It was out of order. He loved to debate. But so let me share something with you about debates. I noticed in some things. I looked at some of his videos, and a lot of preachers are speaking out about this. And I'm happy about it, because a lot of preachers are like saying, if you look at the videos, none of his videos show love about Jesus. And so tomorrow they're having this big funeral, and which is nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. It's just like Nelsie with the rapper Nipsey Hussle. They got killed for no reason. It does not matter if you agree or disagree. It does not give you the right to go and kill no one. Now, I have to be honest with you. Some of you all might disagree with my show. But does it give you the right to meet me on the streets if you ever did and look at me? Your show ain't this. Da 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 da. I think you fake. No. Keep your opinions to yourself. I put my opinion on Facebook about Apostle Taylor. And I'm just gonna call it out for what it was. My granddaughter, she humiliated me on that page until it was like, what in the world? You need to stop thinking about yourself. Da 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 da. And my ex-husband's family seen it. And they got a hold of him. They said, who is this? And he thought it was one of our other doors, because we have another door that speaks out at times. And he said, and they told us, said, that was very wrong what she did. And so when I try to confront my daughter, well, she have her opinion and say things. No, there is a right way and there's a wrong way you do things. So I learned. So my other daughter, we talked about it. She said both of y'all was wrong. She said she should have never made a comment. Especially she did not know what was said, what the whole story was. And she said you should have left it alone. And to a certain degree, she's kind of right. But at the same time, why should I have to stop speaking up for somebody that was there for me? You kind of see what I'm saying? So I've gotten to the place, and plus my job, I work for the government now. And so I try to limit things that I say on social media, because they're checking. They're really checking. Yes, my heart go out to Charlie Kirk's wife and the children. But once again, in some things he promoted hate. And a lot of people are not going to see it that way. Just like with Trump. A lot of things that Trump is doing is wrong. But people are not going to see that. And that's their opinion. So, my grandson, he's in the military. And I was telling him, I said, I'm looking to buy a home in Africa. So if things really go down here in America, the family will have a place to come. Will have a place to come for refuge. And something that he told me, he said, let me ask you a question. He said, has Trump, I'm paraphrasing, has Trump came into this house and told you all how to live y'all's life? I said, no. He said, the things that goes on, does it affect you? I said, kinda. He said, how? I said, with ICE and how they're doing the blacks. He said, but has it affected you? I said, no. He said, there you go. He said, unless it affect you or the family, leave it alone. And that really made me really think, it really, although I still am going to Africa, because I love it over there. I do, I love it over there. But what he said made a lot of sense. And it's just that I love my country so much. I love America. And America has really did a U-turn. And I'm talking from the heart. It has really did a U-turn. And I feel that a lot of stuff is not right. But the only thing that I can do is just pray and watch what I say. Look at the guy on the late night show. My heart went out to that guy, and I hope that Jasmine Crockett, they do get this thing taken care of, because even Ted Cruz said, I read an article where he said, no, this was wrong, because what the guy said about Charlie Kirk, it was enough that he just only made a comment. Where on Fox News, this reporter said something. Oh yeah, they need to be the homeless people need to be killed, and somebody took that and ran away with it and shot up a homeless camp. We have to be careful in what we say. We have to be so careful. So if you all don't take nothing from this show, take this. Be very mindful. Be very vigilant in the things that you say. Keep it among yourself. If you got to look in the mirror and talk to yourself, do that. Because right now, I feel like we're going back to colonization. I could be wrong, but I really do. Where you can't say what you really feel. And I'm hoping that they pass this. I hope that the FCC, they wanted him to get removed. I hope that he do, because he was wrong. Because just because a person don't agree with you does not give you the right to say anything. What the guy said was nothing no different than what nobody else had said. But because it's media. Fox News said that they should, and I did not notice, but the guy came back and apologized. Apologized for what? You had already put it out there. You already put it out there. That the homeless people, they need to give the homeless people something to kill them. That is wrong. That is totally wrong. You can be up today and be down tomorrow. You can be up today, and within a split second, you can have $1 million in your bank at 12 o'clock, well, at 8 o'clock in the morning. By 12 o'clock noon, that $1 million is wiped out. You have to be very careful in what you say. You have to be very careful in what you do. So if I don't say anything else, I would say protect your mind, protect your body, and protect your soul. and enjoy life. Some are saying that we're going to have a blackout. I don't know. But I will say this much. If you're going to have if they're going to have a blackout, please, 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 a double please, have all your protection. Have solar lamps. Have everything. So if that do happen, you have something. Because it's like this. If the grid go down, there is sunlight. Get candles. Do whatever you have to do to survive. Do whatever you have to do to survive. But at the same time, don't let it overwhelm you. Don't do that. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Thank you all for the ones that have been following me. I do appreciate it. Once I get out of here, I should be free to really work on stuff. But this is what's been going on, and I cannot lie to you all. Y'all, my audience. I cannot lie to you all. I can't and I won't lie. This home has literally drained the strength out of me to where I don't want to do anything. Now moving, I see a brighter future. And you guys will be seeing me more. I'm going to do another podcast after this one so I can get some in order so that you all can hear and everything. So take care, be encouraged, love one another, and stay focused on your dreams, stay focused on your visions. Until next time, thank you for listening at Wellness Matters in the Health Zone. My name is Professor M. Be blessed.